Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Carter, the model investor. If you haven't seen any of my videos yet, I recommend you check out my intro video. I'll put a thing on the screen here, just so you have a background of what I'm talking about. But today I want to talk about, because I finally closed on my commercial property after 4 long months. So I want to just talk about, I'll try and do it quickly because all my videos are like so long because I talk so much. But I just want to go over my experience and just a couple of differences that I noticed investing with commercial as opposed to single family. So the reason I ended up buying this property, I'd sold my property in Texas and I needed to reinvest into a more cash flowing asset. So I started looking in my primary market, Syracuse, New York, and my broker had recently listed a property, and I jumped on it right away, basically, because it was the price was right, and it was in the area that I'm investing in at the moment, like kind of like a developing, up and coming area. So I said, Frank, what's the deal with this property? It's like could be perfect for me. So we checked it out, and cut a long story short, I ended up putting an offer in, and it was accepted. We were able to move fast on it because Frank had listed it, which was great because shortly after I got my offer and multiple offers came in, so I was able to lock that down and get a good deal because I think it would have ended up pushing past my budget or what I was comfortable investing in. So it's a mixed use 5-unit. So it actually has a store in the ground floor. There's 2 buildings on like one lot. They're not connected, but they're like part of the same parcel. So there's a bodega, a store in the ground floor of one building, and then a 3-bedroom and a 2-bedroom upstairs. And the building behind it has another 2 apartments, 1 2-bedroom, 1 1-bedroom. It's a C-class asset, so it's in a developing area. It hasn't been updated in I don't know how long, but it's very livable, and I plan to slowly renovate the apartments one by one as they become vacant. I don't want to disturb the tenants. A lot of they've been there a long time, so I will wait and just kind of sit on that in the meantime. One interesting difference, so one thing that I noticed, because I primarily invest in single family, or I've looked at a few small multifamily properties, commercial financing. So I had to go to a commercial lender. I used a local bank, upstate, out of Rochester actually, so not Syracuse local, but pretty local. And the only downfall of commercial lending is most of the time, I'm pretty sure you have to put 25% down. So I had to do 25% down. I have the property on a 20-year amortization schedule with a 5-year fixed at, I think it's 4.75. It's a decent rate, but it's fixed for the 5 years, but then it will float. Every 5 years it will be adjusted until we reach 20 years. And another downside is prepayment penalties on a sliding scale, depending how soon, if I was to refinance, I would get hit by a penalty. But I mean, that's all fine. I think I probably could have negotiated the prepayment out, but I plan on holding on to this for quite a long time, so it wouldn't affect my exit strategy. So yeah, and I was actually surprised by how easy it was to get loan commitment. The loan is through my company, so through my LLC, but I personally guarantee it, so it's basically me. But it was far less invasive and a lot less paperwork, I have to say, than getting a conventional loan through the bank, which, I mean, they want to know kind of what you had for breakfast and what you did yesterday. So that was a pleasant surprise because I was prepared for a lot more paperwork, and I had never applied for a commercial loan before, so I wasn't sure how that all kind of works. But it was pretty easy, so that was great. Getting insurance for a mixed use building was not easy. So we had the numbers from the seller, and the first quote I got for the property was twice the amount that the seller was paying. So that came back way too high, and I started to stress out a little bit because I had run the numbers on the seller's insurance quote, which actually is a good lesson. You should probably get some quotes and not just go off that, but he had probably had that insurance for years. So I had to keep looking. I wanted to find a better deal. Eventually found someone that could give me a cheaper insurance deal. But when it came time to close, there was all this back and forth because it's two properties on one lot. It has two addresses, and there was some confusion with if both addresses went on the binder or not. I mean, it was just kind of a lot. There must have been like 100 emails between the bank's attorney and my insurance broker just trying to figure that out, and it needn't have been so complicated, I don't think. But that was a big difference because getting an insurance quote for a single family is just like takes about half an hour, and it's simple, and there's one property. So that was kind of a learning experience. Luckily, it took so long to close on this property that we weren't held up by trying to organize this insurance disaster. But yeah. What else? Well, I wanted to mention, I always do this, right? I get halfway through my video and then I stare down at my notes and I have to put that tick-tock. I wanted to mention one cool thing, so a nice bonus that I hadn't expected, because the property is fully rented. At closing, I was credited the security deposits from all the tenants, and because we closed at the end of the month, the rents for the following month we'll receive them shortly. So it's kind of like a nice little bonus at the beginning. With single families, most of the single families I've purchased have either not had security deposits in place or they've been vacant. Most of my singles were vacant when I purchased them. So that was kind of a nice little bonus. We have a couple of leaks we have to fix. When we did the inspection, there were some dripping faucets and a couple of issues, nothing major, but that was kind of reiterated when I called the water department to switch the billing over to my address, because it's commercial, the landlord pays for the water bill, and it had high, the property had unusually high usage, so there will be a leak somewhere that we have to get sorted right away, because I don't want to be paying these extravagant water bills right off the bat. But other than that, my broker also was able to negotiate a current CFC, so Code of Compliance, which the City of Syracuse require on all multi-unit properties. And so, yeah, that's good for 5 years. So that was arranged and delivered to us at closing. So that was good. We don't have to worry about that for a while. What else? I covered the insurance. Wow, that insurance was just such a nightmare. I don't know. I need to try and maybe not use that insurance company again. I'm not sure. But that's about all I wanted to cover. Yeah, I've covered everything, I think. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, any other problems that arose. just the fact that it took so long to close. I mean, 4 months. My offer was accepted in the middle of June. We closed end of October. We got the commitment quickly, the financing. We were on top of everything. Unfortunately, the seller was out of state and he was out of the country at some point during this process, and his attorney is out of state. And nothing against out of state investors, because I am one myself, but it just, there was some major delays, so we weren't able to close as quickly or even half as fast as we should have. But it's all taken care of now, and just in time for winter. And so far, so good. Our plan is to raise the rent on the store. The tenant there has a lease until middle of 2021, which is nice, but it's substantially below market, and we need to bring that up. So, but that's about it. I hope that wasn't. I hope that was informative somehow. I didn't really plan this video too well, but that was my experience last week, and I'm just glad that it's all over. I was able to close here, actually, like right over on my table over there with a notary that I work with often, so that was easy. I didn't have to go back up. And so we will see how this pans out, and so far so good. But I will keep you posted. Anyway, thank you for watching. I will post again soon, and to my 27 subscribers, you're awesome. If there's anything that you can think of that you would like me to talk about, can be anything, put a comment down below and I will look into talking about that. Just happy to help with anything, any insight that I can give to anyone that wants to know anything about real estate investing, not try and cover it. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.